Nestled on the banks of the Mersey stands the Tudor timber-framed manor house of Speke Hall. The Grade 1 listed building has undergone significant restorations over the centuries, but over the last year, not only has it had to contend with the elements, it's also had to weather the storm of the pandemic, with planned restoration put on hold. But conservation work is now back underway, and we've been invited behind the scenes.
So these have come from the gables on the front of the hall. We're not sure how old they are. They could be Tudor, or they could be as young as 1969, when some carving on the front elevation there was done by pupils of Gateacre Comprehensive. We think that these are oak, but you can see the amount of damage here. Here at Speke Hall, we're close to the Mersey, so we get a lot of weather coming in. We're also next to John Lennon Airport, but the other thing is that here we have jackdaws, which do quite a lot of damage, and I fight a running battle with them.
And it's fascinating, isn't it, to think that actually we have no idea whether that is from the Tudor period or maybe 1969.
There is a story that one of the carved heads might be an image of one of the woodwork teachers at the school. So if anybody sees this and recognises them and thinks, that was me, then do let us know.
Look, if they do turn out to be from the 1960s, what will happen to them? Will they be repaired and put back again?
That's a good point, because at what point does history begin and modern day era end? These could be as much a part of the history of the hall as if they were Tudor. So if you like, it's like a Sherlock Holmes exercise to investigate and find out what the truth is.
The history of this place is fascinating. Originally built when Henry VIII was on the throne, Speke Hall fell into decay and was restored in the 19th century in the Victorian arts and crafts style, a unique architectural mixture which restorers have tried to preserve. And this is really quite special because we've been given permission to come up here onto the scaffolding of what is the north range of the hall, and from up here, well, you really do get a completely different view of this building and the vital restoration work that they've been doing here.
This shows the conservation in action. You can see here we've got new pegs. These are oak pegs, and traditionally we used to heat these up in an oven in the kitchen down below, and we had this lovely smell of warm oak wafting through the hall. But the new pegs are then driven in. This section here is relatively new, 1969, because it's actually got carved into it reference to the pupils of Gateacre Comprehensive School and the date 1969, and there's the school crest, and there's this small face up here that's been carved in there.
Part of the current restoration involves repainting the facade of the building.
Not like doing living rooms or hall stairs and landings, you know, everything's different.
Matt and his team are using traditional lime wash and a specialist black paint.
Originally this building wouldn't have been painted, but obviously over the years at some point they've decided that it'd look better black and white. Obviously it's quite a lot of work that needs to go into it, but at the end of the job it does look spectacular, and it just keeps the building looking fresh really.
Another massive job for the team here is to clean all the windows. My goodness, there are a lot of them here, and most of these are the original glass, which is incredibly thin and precious, so they do have a team of special conservators who clean every single pane meticulously. Of course, none of this comes cheap. The National Trust spending £26,000 on this current restoration. It'll be the turn of another side of the hall next year. It's clear keeping this place looking its best is a constant work in progress. Mel Barham, ITV News, Liverpool.